the Furman Award for 2025 for the best expenses in the group. So Alex is the perfect person. My only focus is grow revenue. So hopefully that revenue, not hopefully, but that'll be glad to see that revenue going to the bottom line.
That's awesome. Congratulations. It's a hell of an accomplishment with a big group and a good group.
You know, I really didn't like my job. Just never understood it. That DNA is in my soul from that. So I appreciate, rest in peace, uh, and apologize for not knowing what I knew then, what I know now.
I can promise you this to most people, and they don't know it, is the manager that they like the least is the manager that had the best impression on them and will form them to be a better manager.
He had faults like I do, uh, but I just didn't understand. All I saw was all the cars being sold. I just couldn't believe that he was, talking about how much coffee is and how much the cleaning service is, and did we have to buy that much food on Saturday? And we'd all just roll our eyes like, "Are you kidding me?" Until I replaced them and then saw that the stranglehold that the union shop has on our fixed ops and how hard it was for the store to make money. I just didn't know.
No, you just got to sell one more car. It pays for it. Ask every vendor.
Kevin, you'll appreciate this. I was sitting on a call with a vendor for Patrick, and we started asking questions about what the results were. And he finally got so squirmy and frustrated, he turned around and said, "It's the best line ever. Let's just not focus on the numbers for now."
That's great.
T-shirt and walk around NADA with it and said, "Let's not focus on the numbers."
Just math. That's the fun part of the whole thing. It is just math.
I love everybody and I want the best for everybody, but you've got to perform.
Yeah, their math wasn't mathing, and I was like, "What?" And they couldn't explain it. So I was like, "All right, we're going to continue down this road."
Well, it isn't all about math. You do have to make decisions on the math. I have operators that I know that are struggling, and their cure is to cut advertising and inventory because that's easy to do. Cutting people or evaluating pay plans and cutting out vendors that you have great relationships. That takes courage, and keeps you up at night. And when you're in the shower, you're thinking about it. It's just too easy to cut inventory and advertising just to save money, but eventually that catches up with you when you lose allocations, when business takes off and you can't get the cars, and then cutting advertising doesn't have an effect next month, but it'll have an effect in 3 months.
It's the worst two things you could cut. They should be dead last on the
Exactly.
list.
To do.
Now you can and or looking at your advertising and reallocating it, because that's the other thing, is that a lot of times it's being misspent in the wrong area or spent in the wrong area.
There's a reason why it's easy, and it's because they don't know what else to do because they shouldn't be in the job.
I mean, I have some empathy for them because when they're losing money every month, that's a lonely place to be. I mean, it is a quick thing because that's where a lot of the money is in advertising, and it's
Brad,
easy to do. But
Brad,
am I making excuses for him, Kevin?
yeah, they got to look in the mirror, dude. If you're running a car dealership and you're losing money, go look in the mirror.
Is there?
Hopefully, you're the new GM or you just bought the store if you're in a store that's struggling. If not, you've got to look in the mirror and something has to change. Something does. Something. It's the meeting I just had with my guys. Is Status quo doesn't happen. It can't. You can't stay steady. The world's spinning at 24,000 miles per hour and spinning around the sun. So staying still doesn't work. So going out next year and going, we want to duplicate 2025, it's not going to work. We're going to get less cars. So we have to get uncomfortable and find a way to go get more cars, buying them from dealers. I'm going to do some work at the in my building next door. I'm going to invest $1 million and I'm going to get at every $30,000 gets me a car. We will invent ways to get inventory. But it's Fred Belani said it the best. You're either green and growing or ripe and rotten. And if you're trying to just maintain, you are one ripe and rotten son of a bitch. And if you're losing money, then you need to start changing everything you do until you figure out what's going to work and get you back to where you're profitable. But waking up every day and accepting I'm going to lose money, shit, go do something else. That's like that's like waking up every day, patting your kids on the ass, send them out to school, and go get a D.
If you're not changing it, you're choosing it.
Boom. Something's got to change. You got to get uncomfortable. I told everybody it's going to be uncomfortable. Don't get mad at me for doing my job. My job is to make you uncomfortable this year. You've been comfortable for 9 damn years. I'm going to make you as uncomfortable as possible. If you're not up for the task, thank you very much. Let me have your keys. I love you all. But if you come to work every day with the same thing that you came with last year, it ain't going to be enough and it's not going to work.
You know, I was watching, and maybe you guys have seen it, the Simon Sinek, where he or talks about, you know, the various military, and I don't want to start, you know, comparing military um, branches of government, but he goes through all the other ones, and it's recruiting day at the school, the high school, and all of the other, you know, folks. The Army gets up there, the Navy, the Air Force, and then when the Marines get up there, he basically the guy looks around and says. Yeah, after all those PowerPoints and everything that everybody said, I don't think any of you will be okay. I don't see anybody out there that actually will work. So thank you for giving me the time and opportunity, but I don't think anybody will work because. And then he goes on for a couple minutes to explain what being a Marine really is. And he says, but if you do have any interest, I'll be in the back of the room. And what he was using was he was creating a filter. So maybe apply a filter to your people, right? To make them uncomfortable. Right? Who wants to be uncomfortable this year? Meet me in the back of the room. Otherwise, you can just keep going.
No, I am at the store and you guys definitely gave me a sales meeting this morning. Boo ha. I may tune back in, David. I'm going to try to tune into your room too. I appreciate everybody. Thank you.